Who's the next star? Ateba Gautier, a guy from Cameroon. He's a terrifying beast. Built like a Greek god, he destroys everyone in his path. Even in the UFC, the sculpted Ateba Gautier shocks fans with his raw, natural power. Calmly racking up knockouts, the young Cameroonian with a kiloton punch has turned into a living nightmare for MMA in just a matter of months. Today, we're going to enjoy some spectacular knockouts delivered by the hands of this African monster. Born in a village near Douala, the largest city in Cameroon, Ateba grew up watching his mother work tirelessly. He promised her he would get an education, and despite his success in combat sambo, which he began practicing at 17, he graduated from university with a degree in physics. At 19, having tasted the edge of science, Gautier put on the gloves and successfully made his MMA debut with minimal preparation. A year later, in search of the right gym, he moved to Manchester. The very first high kick sliced open the opposing Brit. Gautier followed up immediately, hurling a couple of heavy stones at his blood-soaked opponent as he struggled to stay afloat. This might be it. In just a year, with proper training in England, his takedown defense improved dramatically. The progress in his striking was just as obvious, and soon enough, middleweights were metaphorically losing their heads. By cleverly masking a lead switch kick with level changes and a subtle hand feint, Ateba detonated it in one fluid motion, scattering the Serbian's senses across the canvas. Even the seasoned Carlos de Souza had nothing to offer. He was blown off his feet almost instantly in the opening exchange. Within only a few months, after scoring 4 consecutive first-round knockouts, the 22-year-old Cameroonian earned himself an invitation to Dana White's Contender Series, the UFC's proving ground for future stars. Standing across from him was the undefeated Japanese fighter Yuri Naito, a champion of the respected Pancrase organization. He possessed heavy hands of his own and was highly experienced in the ground game. In their head-to-head clash for a UFC contract, ABA spent the opening minute fending off the Japanese fighter's clinch attempts before forcefully meeting another takedown shot. The relentless Naito nearly had his dome cracked, but still managed to achieve what he wanted and bring the fight to the mat. Ateba, still somewhat green when it came to the intricacies of grappling, later admitted, "I looked at my corner and asked what to do." The Cameroonian made it to the break without taking serious damage. He opened the second round in his usual fashion, now fully reading his opponent. Stuffing the takedown attempts, Gautier made sure to unload his strikes every time they disengaged. He has always known how to turn on the ground and pound when the fight hits the canvas. This guy is extremely talented, powerful, athletic, and still very raw. But he has Frank Mir in his corner, so he'll catch up in the grappling department. You've got a bright future. Come join us. A lot of people supported me on this journey so that I could be standing here today. It's not just my hard work, it's theirs as well. So I want to thank everyone who stood by me. By the time of his debut in March 2025, Gautier had developed complete chemistry with his coach, Carl Prince. He's like a brother, an uncle, and a father to me all in one. At the UFC event in Mexico, the student did not let his mentor down. Carefully choosing his moments to attack, Gautier masterfully used his 2-meter reach to control the distance. By the end of the round, the ever-talkative Jose Medinov swallowed a crushing left hook and found himself asking for more. Wiping the smirk off his opponent's face with a piercing knee strike, Ateba made a thunderous debut and set his sights on gold. For months later, Robert Valentin threatened to put the Cameroonian striker's lights out. But after missing his very first big shot, he found himself backed up against the cage, stuck in a tight shell of defense for just over a minute. Once again, a pinpoint left hook triggered a devastating chain reaction. With his second consecutive performance of the night bonus, Ateba pocketed an additional $100,000 and headed back to his homeland. After every fight, the first thing I do is call my mom. She tells me, "Look at you, how you've grown into a man. This is where I grew up. My grandmother used to sit right over there. I cry because of her. As the youngest in the family, I spent more time with her than anyone. Now I'm in the UFC, but she's no longer with us. Look around, there's nothing here. I have to change that." Recharged on his native soil with nothing but pure fuel and having spent his bonus money on a new home for his mother, Gautier convinced the promotion to get him back into the octagon as soon as possible. His opponent, Tristan Vines, clearly planned to ride his bike for all 15 minutes, fear heavy in his heels. At one point, Vines tried to summon his inner warrior, but no one answered the call. In just a minute and a half, Ateba managed to land a sharp knee and showcase active elbow defense along the cage. Because of your power, it's hard to find people willing to fight you. Honestly, I don't know. I can't hit myself to figure out whether I really have power or not. Ateba himself attributes his rapid growth in fighting skills to a gift from above and total dedication to training. I'm the most boring friend you could possibly have. I don't go anywhere except the gym, home, and the store. God blessed me with this body, and I'm grateful to him for that. In January 2025, rising Russian knockout artist Andrei Pulov stepped up to test the skills of the surging prospect. His credentials were outstanding: a strong amateur background, a dangerous left hand, and a crafty specialist in liver kicks. He landed a solid shot. Connected, clean. What more could you ask for? But Gautier needed only 20 seconds to send him flying. Composed as ever, Ateba allowed his opponent to get back to his feet, a decision that may have been a mistake. With his signature kicks, Pulev damaged the Cameroonian's elbow and began to gain confidence in the exchanges. He also circled smartly to his left, counterclockwise, staying away from his opponent's primary weapon. In the second round, the Russian started pressing forward with double attacks, the so-called Southpaw fork. Still, Gautier's nuclear cross kept whistling past his opponent's chin, eventually earning him another opportunity to finish the fight. Pulev proved to be a resilient Hydra, though, and in the third round he peppered the now more static Cameroonian with sharp single shots. Gautier ultimately celebrated a victory by decision, an unusual outcome for him, which sparked some doubts about his championship ambitions. It was a good fight, but I didn't expect him to keep fighting like that. He's got heart, and I respect him for it. Did you get any injuries in the fight? Yes, but it's normal. I injured my elbow from his body kicks. The guy knows what he's doing. Despite not scoring a knockout in his last fight, the 23-year-old Gautier has not lost his natural power, youth, or drive to work hard. Whether that will be enough to challenge the elite of the middleweight division remains an open question. One thing is clear, Ateba is the perfect candidate to fill the void left by Francis Ngannou's departure from the UFC. If you enjoyed the video, don't hesitate to like it and subscribe to the channel.